What's so hard about that? You let it all go. You're turning up the volume, reaching for your radio. What's so hard about that? Get your horn up out the case. You flap them little gums out, and you stick it on your face. What's so hard about that?
All right, so there it was. I'm at Paultom Downs. I'm just blowing off some steam after Friday night's game, right? And even though I was depressed as hell, there was just something in the air. It just made me feel like it was my lucky day, okay? Now I've only felt this way a few times in my life, Paul Wayne, mainly whenever we won state the first time, whenever I lost my born-again virginity to Tammy Lee Jones, and then whenever the Rangers won the World Series.
Wait, you hooked up with Tammy Lee? You old dog, you. How's she doing these days?
Last I heard, she had 4 kids with Ronnie Shackleford down at the old Rolling Thunder trailer park.
She could do a lot worse than Shackleford. That dude was 2-time all-district cornerback.
Yeah, they don't call him Shackles for nothing. He could lock your butt up, boy, but seems old Tammy's locked him down, actually, after he knocked her up 10 years ago. It kind of goes hand in hand, I guess. But anyway, not to bury the lead. I was down to my last $100 at Paultom Downs, and I'm sitting there wondering, how am I going to get the money to pay back this damn FCC fine? When all of a sudden, I saw a Greyhound with the name Boat Sucks, and he's running in that next race, and it's 75-1 odds.
Wow. Now there's a gift from the universe.
You ain't kidding. I mean, it's just like fate gift-wrapped him to me and said, "Psst, hey, Dwayne, this one's on me." All right, so guess what I did?
You bet it all on him and won the money to pay the fine?
What? No, you idiot. That's a sucker's bet. Any seasoned dog gambler knows that the trainers in Boat will send their worst dogs over to Paultom Downs and name them something like Slow Tugger or Boat's Folly and then get all the idiots from Paultom to bet on them. It's the oldest trick in the book, all right? What I did was I hit a Super 6 and picked 6 straight winners, won the money to pay back the fine, and then got back some of the audio equipment from QWIL Deportes that I pawned. So,
you know, under different circumstances, my Catholic faith would be uneasy about your descent back into the vice, Dwayne, but that's one of the coolest stories I've ever heard. I'm sure the Pope would let this one slide.
All right, which one of you jagoffs ripped off the microphones from QWIL Deportes?
What's so hard about that?
well, Pine Nation, how are we? It's your old pal here, Dwayne Applebottom, and we're coming to you live on QWIL The Quill on this dreary, bleak autumn day. And folks, I hope you're strapped in, because it's going to be a tough one today. I'm not going to lie to you. This is one of those days where you question your existence, your essence, and really every wrong decision you've ever made in your life. It ain't easy. But folks, as always, you know we're going to get through this together. We're going to get through this together. Of course, joining me on this dark day is the Vader to my Palpatine, the Harley Quinn to my Joker, the Smee to my Captain Hook. That's Mr. Paul Wayne Teague.
Thanks, Dwayne. You know, usually I'd be all gung-ho to get going here, but let's just dispense with the pleasantries. I'm too sad and depressed to think of an analogy here.
Yeah, no worry, partner. I think everyone understands out there in Pine Nation. For any of y'all who haven't heard or drowned your sorrows away yet, the cause for our melancholy today is Friday night's football game. I'm ashamed and disheartened to announce that your Paultom City Porcupines lost to the Stuber Bakers and Coach Darryl Strong, final score being 31-27. Now, this was one of the most heinous and egregious games I've seen in my career, and I'm sure it's one that this town won't forget.
Dwayne, to say this was a heartbreaker would be a disservice to all the heartbreaks we've witnessed and been privy to. I'm really not sure where to start or who to blame. Maybe our offense, maybe the defense, maybe Coach Hauser.
Well, I'll tell you where I want to start, and that's with our defensive coordinator, Cyrus Pepperfield, and our once vaunted defense. I mean, they had been so stout and so venerable all year, yet Coach Strong and his Veer offense just ran roughshod over them. I mean, they allowed 24 points in the first half. It was like Cyrus was asleep at the wheel. It was unreal.
Yeah, our defense was playing like they didn't know their head from their britches. Our D-line would run one way, our linebackers and secondary would run the other. The D-line would blitz, and the secondary would go into prevent defense. When the line was playing for the run, the linebackers were playing the pass, and so on and so forth. Coach Hauser about blew a gasket on the sideline, and we about lost it in the press box ourselves.
It was unbelievable, folks. Unbelievable. I mean, we thought that we were being pranked or something. Come to find out, the reason for that discombobulation was that the front four of our defense were wearing different colored wristbands than the back seven of our defense. It was discovered during the half that one of our assistant equipment managers who lays out the uniforms and wristbands pre-game is colorblind. That's right, colorblind. Old Eddie Fendergrass has got a lot of butt chewing coming his way, and he got a pretty fair amount from Coach Hauser that night, and rightly so. Apparently that assistant actually had to be hidden from Coach Hauser, and now reportedly is in the Paultom County Sheriff's Department's Witness Protection Program. And I tell you what, he better stay there if he knows what's good for him.
You know, I wouldn't be shocked if we found out he's an old drinking buddy of Coach Strong. You can't put anything past him after his unceremonious exit last year.
Yeah, hey, anything's on the table at this point. I'm not ruling out foul play by any means, Paul Wayne. You know, we'd expect this from Boat. But Coach Strong knows all the ins and outs of our equipment program, too. So, I mean, it's all too easy to see how he could pull some strings, and maybe make things work out in his favor here.
Regardless, his veer offense ran all over us in the first half.
Yeah, they did. We gave up 3 touchdowns to Fuchsia Grange, their stud duck running back, who is the supposed great-great-grandson of Red Grange. I tell you what, the Galloping Ghost had to be pretty happy watching his progeny walk into the visitors' locker room up 24-7 at half.
Now, Dwayne, I'm not sure whose loved ones Coach Hauser threatened or if he had the team listen to Meatloaf in the locker room, but something lit a fire under our boys' butts at half because the Pines came out for the second half like a bat out of hell.
Long live the loaf.
Your mama taught you well, kid. Like I was saying, the boys came out with their hair on fire and marched up and down the field on an 8-play, 75-yard drive that featured a heavy dose of Maverick Malcolm Boyd and hashtag Johnson, ending with hashtag punching it in from 12 yards out to cut the lead to 24-14.
Yeah, after that, it kind of felt like we were back in business. We were starting to get back on the right track. And I think the highlight for me, personally, was whenever Coach Hauser dialed up some trickeration with little receiver pass from Mamadou Balde to Alan Bosley, and that brought the game to 24-21 with about 5:40 left in the third.
Now here's where the game really turned into a roller coaster, folks.
Yeah, so Coach Hauser had the Pines rolling going into the fourth quarter. I mean, especially after DeBrickashaw Thompson and Jacoby Kenobi sprung open that hole for hashtag Johnson. That resulted in a 33-yard touchdown that put everyone into the den into a frenzy with 4 minutes to go. Unfortunately, that celebration was pretty short-lived because our kicker, Efren Herrera, missed the extra point. Our get-back coach practically had to lasso Coach Hauser on the sideline to keep him from choking Efren out.
You know, I've about had it with these soccer kids masquerading as kickers, but at this point, we got no other choice.
Yeah, here's a wake-up call to the Booster Club. I don't care how much it costs to move someone to Paultom City who can kick. Spend that cash, boys. Hell, set them up a mansion at this point because we can't keep siphoning off these shin guard-wearing losers. I mean, this ain't welcome to Wrexham, all right? This is welcome to Paultom, and we want a real football player, not someone who calls soccer football, all right? Look, I'm sorry. I'm getting my blood pressure up. Paul Wayne, I digress. You take over here.
I get it, partner. You're preaching to the choir. Anyway, Stuber got it to the 50-yard line on their next drive, and after a couple of stuffs by the defense, they went for it on 4th and 1 to keep their chances alive.
Yeah, Coach Strong dialed up the old tush push and got stonewalled by Jesus Garcia-Salinsky and Aaron Chudd. I mean, it was glorious. So that left us 20 seconds on the clock, and the Bakers had no timeouts. So all we had to do was take a knee and put this one away.
We've got to take a quick break, folks, but when we come back, we're going to play the audio from the end of the game because, well, words just don't quite do it justice. So go get you a stiff drink because you'll need it after this. Stick with us. We'll be right back.
Howdy, folks. Dwayne here. Let me ask you something. How's your bunghole holding up? Have you been feeling a little backed up lately? If you're anything like me, you've probably put that old digestive system through the ringer. And I'm here to tell you, there's a new place in town that can get you feeling as good as new. That place is Good Time Charlie's Colonics and Tonics. Good Time Charlie's uses the latest and greatest technology to clear out that colon, and they will clear it out in a flash. I went over there on my lunch break last week and left 10 pounds lighter in just 45 minutes. Charlie said that he cleared out enough dung from my body to sink a small boat, and that's no lie. That just goes to show how thorough he is, though. He really gets in there and gets everything out. And this isn't a garden hose situation, folks. Believe me, I've done that too, and this just isn't the same. This is the newest, latest, and greatest technology to clear out those bowels. So get your backed up butt down to Good Time Charlie's today and get cleaned out. Good Time Charlie's Colonics and Tonics will get you moving again. And tell them Dwayne sent you. Welcome back, folks. As we teased before the break, we are about to play a clip from the end of the game against the Stuber Bakers. I'll tell you right now, if you're faint of heart or you got a weak stomach, you might want to walk away for a few minutes because this one ain't pretty.
Yeah, but please don't change the dial. We do need the ratings.
Great point, Paul Wayne. Great point. All right. Without further ado, here's the end of the game from Friday night after our fourth down stand.
Well, hot dog there, Dwayne. I hadn't seen a fourth down stand like that since our district championship game back in '88. Here comes out the offense for what I assume is going to be a standard victory formation to seal the deal. Folks, the Stuber Bakers are toast.
How sweet it is. How sweet it is. I am loving this, Paul Wayne. Suck it, Strong.
Suck it.
Woo! I got to know what it's like down there with the team right now. Why don't we send this down to our sideline reporter, Brett Slater, to see what the atmosphere is like on the sideline? Brett, can you hear us?
Yeah, guys, I hear you, but Coach Hauser's signaling for them to run another play.
Don't joke with me right now, Bort. You don't know ball. There's no reason for them to run another down.
Wait a minute, Paul Wayne. Hold on a second there, bud. Unless my eyes deceive me, I think the twerp's right. That ain't no victory formation. That's the power I right now.
Oh, dear God.
Wait, all right, now let's hold on. There's only 2 plays at most that they got to run. So, I mean, we should be safe here, folks. We should be safe. All right, they're coming up to the line right now. Maverick Malcolm Boyd is lining up under center. 2 backs behind him, 2 tight ends to the left. Boyd takes a snap from Renchel. Looks to have stumbled a little bit to his left. He pitches. Oh, mother of God.
The ball is bounced off Peyton Hurst back, and now it's an all-out scrum for the ball. Alan Bosley just dove for it, but to no avail.
My God, the ball squirted back 15 yards, and the Bakers had picked it up. Brian Hawkins has it. There's nothing but grass
Get his
between
ass.
them.
Where's the hustle out there?
He's headed to the end
Oh,
zone.
no, not again.
They're not going to get him, folks. They're not going to get him. Hawkins scores for the Bakers, and time has just run out. Your Porcupines have just thrown away another one. Final score here in the den, 31-27.
Like the damn boat game all over again. Only this time, Coach Strong got one over on us.
Coach Strong does look to be throwing up the double bird to the whole home section here at the den right now.
Keeping it classy as always.
I mean, you can't really fault him. I guess we did kind of earn that after doing the same thing to him whenever he walked out onto the field at the beginning of the game. But
I told you guys they were going to run another play.
would you
shut up?
Well, there you have it, folks. Hubris bites Coach Hauser in the Pines again.
All we had to do was take a knee and put this one away. But, of course, that's not in Coach Hauser's DNA. And, unfortunately, for the second time this season, his DNA has shot us in the ass. Fool us once, shame on us. Fool us twice, well, you might have just cost us the district championship. You know, I'm a Hauser man through and through, Dwayne, but this is almost inexcusable.
You know, I'm just spitballing here. But I kind of wonder if his PTSD from his service days are starting to have some effects on his judgment. Because, look, I mean, you just don't throw away the game like that, you know? I mean, I'm a Hauser man too, Paul Wayne, but he just pooped in our mess kit with this one.
Our only saving grace here is that Bo also had a hiccup this past Friday. The old Tate T-Bones somehow got their first district win over the Tuggers. So, believe it or not, we got a shot to not only win the Golden Shower Head, but also to ruin Boat's shot at winning district.
Yeah, this district is sloppier than a divorcee at happy hour this year, but sometimes that can work out to your advantage. So next week, we got a shot to not only beat our sworn enemies in Boat, but also for them to lose their chance of having that district crown. And that's we can't take that lightly, you know. After seeing Coach Strong's performance, I don't know. I'm not holding my breath.
Me either.
If I'm being honest, Paul Wayne, I'm starting to think that hex that Voodoo Poussey put on us a few weeks ago was real. I mean, when are we going to catch a break, man?
I'm not sure, good buddy. When it rains, it pours. But hopefully not this upcoming Friday when we play those low-down tuggers from Boat.
I hear there, partner.
Lucky for us, we have the greatest motivator of all time on our side.
And pray tell, what is that?
Spite.
Ah, yes. Spite. The greatest equalizer next to diarrhea.
Dwayne, spite is one hell of a feeling. It's what kept me from ending my marriages. Spite kept me from paying my exes their alimony. And spite is what will motivate our Pines to take down Boat this Friday at the Den.
And spite might be what keeps Coach Hauser in line, too. I mean, after all, his career record is 11-1 versus Boat. And what has he always told us? He goes into every Boat game to avenge that one loss. Lest we forget, folks, that one loss is arguably why he lost his job. You know? Well, I mean, that and that one incident.
Whoa. We don't need to rehash the past.
Fair.
We need to focus on the present, Dwayne. While we lost this week's game, we still have a running game operating like a well-oiled machine. Why don't we take a moment to lift up Maverick Malcolm Boyd, #Johnson, and defensive fail-son and now converted running back Alan Bosley, who we should remind people is named after the awful cornerback in Remember the Titans, played by Ryan Gosling.
I like where you're headed there, Paul Wayne. I do like that. Lord knows they'll need all the help they can get going into next week because they are going up against a vaunted front seven with Boat, arguably the best in the district.
Yeah, they're led by gentleman Jack Sampson and linebacker Lane Peartop, son of Shane Peartop, who was named district MVP after the fumble recovery and touchdown in our matchup last year.
Yeah, old gentleman Jack is anything but a refined squire. I mean, he's been known to bite, kick, and claw and really do whatever's necessary to make sure Boat doesn't give up any points. And he seems to have completely bought into Coach Tagwinkler's defensive philosophy this year, which is if you ain't playing dirty, you ain't trying.
And since that's largely Coach Hauser's philosophy as well, we know next week's game is going to be especially gritty. Their offense is also a juggernaut led by senior QB Bubba the Slim Jim Jimson and wideout DeMarco Fleury. Old Tagwinkler loves to unleash Fleury in a hurry against the secondary.
Now, I know Cyrus Pepperfield will have Caden McMurray shadowing him all game, and he'll probably have safety Balmain there to, give a little help over the top. All we got to hope is for Aiden McMurray not to be getting in their way, because if there's one person who can muck this up, it's him.
It's going to be the ultimate chess match between Tagwinkler and Cyrus Pepperfield. If I was a betting man, I'd say this game will all come down to special teams. And they got Cuatro Leches kicking for him this year.
Who we should remind listeners is the brother of Tres Leches, who accounted for all of Boat's points in our matchup last year, outside of the Lane Peartop touchdown. Don't really want to think about that. Look, he's just as good as his brother, and we just don't have an answer for him.
Yeah, we're stuck with Efren Herrera, the old soccer player.
Yeah, and knowing him, he'll probably flop the moment he touches the ball. Kid's more useless than tits on a boar hog, folks. I mean, you just know that Boat always has an ace in the hole, and this year's no different.
Well, we have our own aces to throw down with Malcolm Boyd and Alan Bosley. They played against # before, but they haven't seen the Maverick or the Boz.
True enough. Folks, look, I know we're down from last week's game, but if the thought of beating Boat doesn't get your quills tingling, then I don't know what will. I don't know what will. All right, you know what? Let's take a quick break here, partner. Whenever we come back, we're going to open it up for the Opine line. So y'all stick around. We'll be right back on QWIL The Quill. The race for state is underway. But at Paultom Downs, the dog race is just beginning.
Up here he comes, folks, running down the stretch. It's Snoopy, and he's running full.
And it's time to find out who's all bark and who's all bites.
Snoopy coming down the backstretch, folks, with Clifford the big red dog right behind his tail.
Paultom Downs. The dogs are ready. Are you? Welcome back, folks. You're listening to The First Down with Dwayne and Paul Wayne here on QWIL The Quill. And it is now time for your favorite segment, the Opine Line. So if you got some thoughts on last week's game versus Stuber or on the upcoming game against Boat, we'd love to hear them. We would love to hear them. Looks like the phones are lighting up right now. Beer, who's our first caller?
It's Brett, and it looks like our first caller is Daryl S. from Stuber.
Oh, God. Well, let's see if we got a good sport or a sore winner on the line. Daryl, what's your opine?
Whose house? Strong's house. I said, whose house? Strong's house. Say what?
Folks, for those who don't recognize this caller, you are listening to last year's coach of your Paultom City Porcupines and the choke artist against Boat himself. The coach of the Stuber Bakers, Coach Daryl Strong. How you doing, Coach?
The pleasure is all mine, boys. I just wanted to call in to personally shove this win up your ass after y'all refused to have my back this offseason. I'm ashamed I once called y'all friends.
Now, you're casting some mighty big aspersions there, Coach. If I recall, we weren't the ones that told you to go for 2 last year against Boat.
Dwayne, you literally got on the PA system chanting for me to go for 2. And if I recall correctly, you had action on that game, too.
Wow, Dwayne, who knew a coach could succumb to peer pressure so easily? Did Dare Week teach you nothing, Coach? What were all those seminars with McGruff the crime dog for? Nancy Reagan taught me to just say no, excluding weekends and special occasions, of course.
You two idiots got an excuse for everything. You two damn near ruined my career.
Paul Wayne, I may be misremembering here, but didn't Coach Strong go 2-7 against Boat? You know, I didn't realize that we were wholly responsible for being an abject failure against Paultom City's biggest rival.
Regardless of my record, that doesn't give you the right to put up 60 for sale signs in my front lawn. That doesn't give you the right to encourage my family to seek employment elsewhere. And that doesn't give you the right for you two to tell me how to run my offense.
Look, Coach Strong, everyone and their dog knows you stole your entire offensive philosophy from Coach Hauser. Hell, John Dillinger would have been impressed with that theft, all right? The acorn does not fall far from the coaching tree there, big dude.
How dare you accuse me of stealing that outdated wishbone offense? I run the veer. It's 10 times better than the wishbone, as you idiots just found out last Friday. And you better get used to fearing the veer, boys, because it's going to be kicking the Pine's ass for years to come.
You know, I can take some jaw-jacking and friendly banter, but you leave the wishbone out of this. Remember, Coach, you still need us to beat Boat for y'all to win district. Like it or not, you need the Pines.
Yeah, Coach, just curious. You got any thoughts on our upcoming game against Boat?
Well, if it were me, I'd keep an exterminator at the ready just in case any more vermin make their way onto the field. You can't trust the tugger, and you certainly can't trust Tag Winkler. If you can keep all animals off the field, then I think you boys should get it done. Anyway, you and go Pines.
Go Pines.
You know, personal insults aside, it just goes to show you that you can take the man out of Paultom City, but you can't take Paultom City out of the man.
Once a pine, always a pine, as they say. You know, I think we made some nice progress there with Coach Strong. He might be ready to forgive us.
Yeah, keep telling yourself that. Right. Bran, who's next caller?
It's Brett, and it looks like we have CP Winkler from Boat.
Oh, Christ, kid. How many times are you going to fall for this? This better not be who I think it is. CP Winkler from Boat. What's your opine?
Hey, Dwayne. Hey, Paul Lane.
Well, if it isn't the wife of Boat's coach and queen of the Harpies herself, Miss Kathy Pepperfield Teague Winkler. Kathy, you got a lot of nerve calling up here before the Boat game, girl. And I'll tell you right now, we're really not in the mood today, so make it quick. You got an opine?
From what I hear, you've never been in the mood, Dwayne. Always faking headaches or claiming you're too tired.
Yeah, run your mouth all you want to, but I know things are a little rocky with you and Tag after that loss to Tate. Word has it he's locked himself in his office and hadn't come out since.
Really? Dwayne. Rumors and hearsay. No need to project your insecurities on little old me. Tag and I have an understanding that he needs his space following a loss.
So I guess that means you've been sleeping all by your lonesome. Ain't that right, Kathy?
Get her ass, Dwayne.
Well, if it isn't the sound of alcoholism and desperation. Hey, Paul Wayne, hope you haven't pissed away on my alimony yet.
Kathy, we're more likely to get married again before you ever see another dime out of me. You keep flapping them gums, I might sleep with your sister again out of spite.
You keep that chatter up. I might just sleep with your father again.
Now you know that man has high blood pressure. You leave my paw out of this.
Guys, can y'all please focus? Can we just talk ball?
Would you
Shut up, dweeb.
Look, adults are talking now, kid. This is how the real world operates, all right? Christ almighty. Look, Kathy, is there a point to you calling up here, or are you just wanting to get hung up on today?
Well, I think the only chance the Pines will have of winning this game is to...
Got her.
Hot damn, kid. All this time with us is finally paying off.
Now, that is what we in the biz call nailing it. And as much as I hate saying this, well done, Bart.
More good work like that, and I'll buy you some 40s or wine spritzers or whatever you want. You know, it's good to know someone over 21 years of age.
Yeah, do we have time for one more caller?
It looks like next up is Sheriff Dinkin.
Ah, all right. Just the man I wanted to talk to. Hey there, Dink. Always a pleasure to hear from Paultom's Law Dog.
Hey there, Dwayne. Hey, Paul Wayne.
Good to hear from you, Dink.
Sheriff, this is perfect timing because inquiring minds are wondering what precautions you and the Sheriff's Department are taking for this boat game. You know, we can't be having a repeat of that Gomer incident this year, and we know that the Tuggers are probably licking their chops trying to pull some tomfoolery against us in the den. So, you know, what are y'all doing for it?
Well, first off, we're making sure that Gomer is denied entry at every entrance. All ticket takers have a picture of him next to their booth. And we've also got pictures of him in various disguises, just in case he tries to pull a fast one on us. Also, we have a crack team of exterminators that will be deployed and regularly canvassing sidelines each quarter. We aren't leaving anything to chance this year, believe you me.
And how will you be handling the rowdy boat fans there, Dink?
We dropped leaflets over boat this past week to let fans know that if they bring their boats into town, they will be towed. And if they try to bring any small vermin, stuffed or lived, they will be confiscated at the gates. Additionally, we've made the visitor section smaller than usual for this game. So only about 200 boat fans plus their band will be allowed in. And they'll be seated in the upper deck as far away as possible from the field just to be safe.
Wow. That sounds like you got just about everything covered there. That's impressive.
So long as the ticket takers look the other way when I bring in my bottle of Jack, it all sounds good from my end.
Who's Jack?
Well, Dink, it sounds like you're breaking up once again. I think we got to let you loose. Folks, that's going to do it for us today.
I can hear you guys just fine.
Brett, cut that call. Jesus. I just offered to buy you booze. Do me a solid here, kid.
Paul Wayne, are you buying booze for a minor?
Come on!
Okay, well, like Paul Wayne said, that's going to do it for us here today on the First Down. Just a reminder, folks, it is rivalry week, so we do want to remind you that the wearing of purple and brown is mandated by the city council out there, so be sure to put on your finest duds for this week. Another reminder, for those of you who are headed out to the den this Friday, it is Dip Spit Cup Night. The Booster Club has put together a new commemorative Dip Spit Cup for you to purchase, and all proceeds will be going to Project Graduation.
First 100 fans through the gates will get those for free, so be sure to get out early and get your commemorative Beat Boat Dip Spit Cup. It's a one-of-a-kind item that you don't want to miss.
You really don't. We got a peek at them this year, and they're pretty slick this year. So be sure to make it out for that. Also, all watercraft are banned this week from W.H. Nelson Reservoir, so dust off those waders, y'all. All right, partner, I think that Senor O'Grady's is calling us. Why don't we bounce?
You don't got to twist my arm.
All right. As always, I'm Dwayne Applebottom.
I'm Paul Wayne Teague.
Go Pines
and beat boat.
Let me just tell you, buddy, I know before you go, you It don't take no high-educated woman to keep me in the know. What's so hard about that?
The official broadcast partner of Paultom City Consolidated Athletics, QWIL, The Quill.